Hey guys, Jamie from Guildbrook Farm. It seems like forever since I've been on camera, probably because it has been. We've had a really nice long break with Christmas and New Year's, and just spending time with the family and me personally working on art projects. And I figured we owed you guys a little bit of an update to let you know what we've been doing around here, just how things are working out for us as far as the house construction and the chickens and our solar system and a few other things. But first I'm going to start you off with our Christmas present. Let's go inside and I'll see if I can dig it out from under the couch. This might be a little bit of a challenge.
What is that?
Hi. She does not like being held. Nobody's really do. But just for this video, I wanted to dig her out for you. This is Bella. She is a Holland Lop, and she is about almost 10 weeks old right now. I believe she's about 10 weeks old. And she is our family Christmas present. She is a free-range bunny. We have been litter training her over the last couple of weeks, and she is completely free of her cage right now. She lives under the couch most of the day, usually comes out at night and parties all over the house and runs around, does binkies and lays with us, and sometimes in the morning too. But during the day she sleeps under the couch, which is where she's most comfortable. She is very friendly, but she is also very, very shy, and like I said, she hates being held. So I'm going to put her back under there so that she can feel a little more comfortable. But this is Bella.
Look at those feet.
Good girl. Yeah, good girl. That's all. You're not mad at me? Come here. Not a meat rabbit. Little known fact about bunny is that they eat their own poop. They produce a special poop that is full of nutrients that they have to eat. It's part of their regular diet. Now Bella here, she uses a litter box. She's actually very good about it. Sometimes she does leave a few pieces laying around, but you know, some of these are highly nutritious. Good enough for her, good enough for me. Treat. She loves raw oats for a treat. Especially since I just dug her out from under the couch. Good girl. Yes, you are. You're a good girl. You just want more treats. Yes, you do. I know. I said no more critters. Look how well that worked out. She's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go right down on her head. There you go.
That's it. Good girl. You didn't really think I was eating bunny poops, did you? All right, so a couple months ago we did a video on installing these guard line driveway alarms. We have 2 of them set up. This is across our shared driveway. This is a driveway that's shared with a neighbor. And then we have another one that goes across our personal driveway that goes up to our house. And these things have been working great. Now we did have to move this one. It was on the other side and we did have it angled up the road. Unfortunately, because of the way it was angled, it would go off multiple times as the vehicle traveled up the road or came down the road. So we had to readjust it so it's directly across, and now it only goes off one time. A lot of people said that they had something like this similar in the past where it would trip off a lot due to leaves or trees moving or something like that. We've had no issues with that whatsoever. The sun doesn't affect it. The leaves and trees around here, we have quite a few of them, although since we moved it to this side, there's really not too much over here to as far as trees or anything to really set it off. We did have a couple times where it did go off, you know, due to animals going by, such as deer or coyote, but other than that, it doesn't trip accidentally. It's been a really good alarm. Lets us know when somebody's coming up the road, gives us kind of a heads up to kind of monitor the situation, see who's coming up our driveway. This is a really good investment. We're glad we got these. No chuckins in sight. Ready? Chuckers! Chuckers! Chuck, 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 chuck. Chuck, 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 chuck. Chuck, chuck, chuck. Come on, latecomers. So, a couple months ago we had 20 laying hens, or at least what we thought was 20 laying hens that were not laying any eggs at all, freeloaders. And it turned out that 2 of those laying hens weren't actually hens at all. One of our hens that turned out to be a rooster is Blackberry. He's over there, and he's a pretty good rooster for our flock. He's really sweetheart. The other one was our golden Polish, which we absolutely loved. Her name was Alice Cooper, for those of you guys who have been following the channel. Unfortunately, Alice turned out to be a pretty aggressive rooster, so we ended up having to call him from the flock. So we're now down to 19 birds, of which 18 are laying hens, and man, we are getting eggs like crazy right now. Let's go check the nest box. So when you have free-ranging chickens, you have to be a little bit unconventional when it comes to nest boxes because they tend to lay everywhere. But if you find where their laying spots are and you put nest boxes in place and you put fake eggs in there, that kind of indicates to them that that's a good, safe place to lay eggs. And so we kind of have them strewn all over. We have 2 of them that are in here, which are their main spots for laying eggs, and then we also have 2 in the coop. There's none in there. There is quite a few in here. Now, these are our fake eggs. We marked them with an F because sometimes they look so similar to real eggs, it's kind of hard to tell. There's another fake egg. And then the rest of these, that one's a little bit messed up. 3, 4, we're gonna go check the other nest box. All right, so this is our mobile coop. We're gonna check the nest boxes in here. I got one in here. My pockets are getting full. I need my little apron. And we have one in here. It's actually not a lot considering the amount of hens that we had, but our temperatures were up into the 60 degrees in the beginning of January, and just over the last couple days it's been plummeting down below freezing. So they tend to, you know, lay more when it's a little bit warmer, and they tend to drop off a little bit when it's cooler. So I don't know what I have a pocket full of. What did I end up getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half a dozen eggs for today, which is still more than we could possibly ever eat. So if we have any extras, we can cook them up and feed them back to the chickens. We can give some off to some neighbors. Selling really doesn't work too well around here because pretty much everyone sells eggs, and they sell them for, you know, $2 a dozen. So there's really no profit in that whatsoever. But yeah, we're back in the egg business, and we don't have to worry about eggs anymore. Come here. Come here, Rose. Come here. Come here. Oof, don't be spooked, you know me. Hey, come here, chicken. Love me. All right, so a quick update on our mobile coop. Now, over the summer, we had built this mobile coop, and for the winter, we had covered it in foil bubble wrap. The idea here is that the foil bubble wrap, which is covered in, some people ask about the foil. The foil's both on the inside and the outside. The idea here is that the foil keeps the chicken heat inside and keeps the coop warmer. Now, we have a temperature gun where we have been monitoring the temperatures of this, and it does stay about 10 degrees warmer in the coop. Now, I also have done a test where I've used deep litter inside, and I haven't noticed that much of a difference with the deep litter versus without the deep litter. So I kind of stopped doing that because it's really just wasting hay. It's much easier to move the coop forward after a couple days rather than having to, you know, put in the hay or rake out the hay, or, you know, pull the coop over top of the hay, which is an inconvenience. And this coop's actually ready to be moved today, actually. But it does stay about 10 degrees warmer. Now, I haven't noticed any issues whatsoever with the chickens being uncomfortable with these temperatures. Me personally, I would think that chickens should probably be, you know, more comfortable around 40, 45 degrees. When you're talking 20-degree nights, you're only talking like a temperature inside of 30. Now, the big difference is that there's no wind hitting them, and so they don't get frostbite of the sort. But like I said, they haven't seemed to be discontent at all. They're perky in the morning, they're crowing, they're not huddled together, and there hasn't been any frostbite issues whatsoever. I just think probably when we move, I might come up with a little bit better solution to keep it a little bit warmer, more for my own sake rather than the chicken's sake. But this has been working just great for our situation now. You can see I can pretty much move this myself, which is a lot better than the other coops that we had, because I don't like having to rely on someone else to have to, you know, move things. If I want to come out and do something, I need to be able to do that myself. The only downside I would say to this coop so far that I've noticed is that the pull string is on the wrong side, or the door is on the wrong side, because when I pull this forward, I'm gonna have to walk through the old poop to get through the door, and I don't like that. So maybe at some point we'll fix that. You guys remember last year when we first moved into this house that we went 2 weeks without water? We had frozen pipes, and then we had issues with the pressure tank again, and wow, we went through a lot of water issues. Well, since then we've moved the pressure tank from down near the spring up here to the house, and this winter, now that we have a solar system that's actually able to run a light bulb, we have a light in here that is on a switch that when it drops below 35 degrees, the light kicks on, and we've had no issues, knock on wood, we've had no issues with our pipes being frozen. So this is working. And for those of you guys that haven't seen this video, this is our old pig shelter that we insulated and we just put on top of the pressure tank, and then we do have, like I said, the light inside there that runs through the window and is on that switch.
Hillbilly engineering.
Hillbilly engineering. This is our hot water, on-demand hot water heater. And we also put one of these little switches on this as well, and we have a light in here as well. And so far this seems to be working as well. Now, I will say this. First of all, this thing has been repaired a couple different times, welded due to the pipes bursting last year. And it is holding together. However, we have noticed that we've had to turn the heat all the way up in order to get, you know, somewhat warm water. So I do think that this thing is probably on the fritz here, might not last too much longer. We're just hoping it gets us through until we can get into the house and then put in a proper system. All right, so this is a battery shed for our SimpliPhi lithium-ion batteries and our MagnaSign inverter. We did insulate this shed and, you know, kind of we did a fallout shelter on this in order to keep these batteries nice and warm so that they don't freeze over the winter. We do have our diesel generator in here as well, and when the temperatures do drop down, we do run the generator not only to top off the batteries from the lack of sun hitting the panels, but also to warm up this shed. Unfortunately, the generator actually works a little bit too well. We're only able to run the generator for about 20 minutes before it actually gets a little too warm in here. And then we have to turn it off and then wait till it cools down a bit before running it again. But it does seem to be working. And again, this is another hillbilly temporary situation until we can get up on the hill. But it is working for us. You know, it's a little bit of maintenance on our part, but it's working. Remember when our roof caved in from the snow load? Well, we did patch it up, splint it, and cross our fingers, it is working, it is holding. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. You know, obviously, if there's any other huge snow loads that we have, we're going to try and maintain that as best as possible. This past situation was one where, you know, even if we did have a roof rake in the middle of a blizzard, in the middle of the night when it was snowing, there's just no way to get that snow off as fast as it was coming down. But in a situation where we could manage it, you know, we're going to. But so far this is working, and we'll just keep an eye on this roof. Again, another thing to just kind of hold our breath and hope that we make it through this winter until we can get the house built, and hope that the house doesn't take longer than another year. All right, so I'm going to take you to the top of the hill, show you where we're building the house and what we've been up to up there. Even though a lot of you guys have been watching some of our videos with the clearing that we've been doing, I'm just going to talk a little bit about it up here, and I'm going to let you know about a giveaway. Come on up. So here we are at the home site where we are clearing the land to build our house. I know a lot of you guys have seen this in previous videos, but it's hard to believe this entire area was covered in trees a couple months ago, and Jeremy's been up here, you know, every single week, every time there's a nice day, trying to, he'll fell a couple trees, limb them, and then either drag them over to the splitter and then buck them up over there, or buck them up on the spot, just depending on how heavy they are and how much he can tow with the four-wheeler. And we've been splitting and stacking wood, and all of us have been playing our part. Jeremy does the felling and the limbing, and then usually me and Marina will help with the splitting when that part comes along. And Laria's part in this is she doesn't really like splitting or stacking wood, but she actually makes sandwiches, makes dinner, cleans the house, and so she plays an important role in all this as well, because that's stuff that I would have to be doing down there, and instead I'm able to help split wood while she's taking care of that. So it's a family affair trying to clear this. It is a huge ordeal, not only working with the weather, but you know, it's very time consuming, not just to cut down the trees, but you know, just the limbing and the bucking. And we're going to have to deal with all of this brush here at some point soon. I mean, it's too wet to burn right now. The brush is too wet to burn, so we're probably going to end up having to rent a chipper and chipping everything whenever we get enough piles. But it is a long process. And also right now we're at the tipping point between having to purchase a tractor or potentially getting someone up here to help us clear. And you know, that's the $30,000 question. Do we want to invest in a tractor, or do we want to invest in somebody coming up and getting done what we need to get done? And so we're sort of toying around with that right now and just pricing out tractors and seeing what works for us. So you'll be seeing that answer or solution coming up hopefully in a future video, one way or the other. But before we actually hire anybody up here, we're going to try and clear as much as we can and see if we can get a well in, because that's really the big question. If we can't get a well in, then we can't build up here, which is why we are doing everything by hand and as inexpensively as possible at this point. All right, and so to wrap up this update, I am going to be giving a giveaway on my Guildbrook art channel. Those of you guys that have been following the channel know that I am a pastel artist. I specialize in wildlife and pet portraiture, and I am going to be giving away a custom 8x10 portrait of your choice. It could be of your pet, of your livestock, it could be of any kind of wildlife animal that you want. But if you're interested in entering that giveaway, which is going to be open to everyone worldwide, you can go over to my Instagram page at Guildbrook Art, and I will have a post up there called giveaway, and all the instructions for entering that giveaway will be down below. You do have to be a follower of my page, and I just want to say a special thank you to all of you guys who have supported me as I launched my business in 2018, and as they continue to purchase commissions from me or buy any of my portraits that I'm making. I really appreciate your guys' support. It helps me do what I'm doing. Also, on a similar note, if for a second chance of winning one of my custom pet portraits, Chelsea over at Little Mountain Ranch is also going to be giving away a 4x4 picture of custom portrait on her channel, and I believe that she's doing a whole entire video on women who are small business owners, and my giveaway is going to be part of several that she's going to be giving away on that channel. So if you are interested in for a second chance on a Guildbrook art portrait or some of the other things that Chelsea might be giving away on her channel, go check out her channel as well. I'm going to leave that link down below. All right, so that wraps everything up for our updates right now. You know, we'll continue to put out videos as things come up, but right now we're just felling trees, limbing, cutting, dicing, splitting, stacking, and pretty much the same thing. Rinse and repeat day after day as soon as we get nice weather, and we'll continue to put out those videos as we do them and anything else fun that we have in the works. But right now things are a little bit slow, you know, just because of the weather, but we'll keep you posted on everything going on around here, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.